You are listening to The World As I See It podcast. 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 As I See It.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The World As I See It podcast. So, if you listened to last week's episode, I talked about some of the hardest things about being blind. This week, I want to talk about some of the best things about being blind. And one of the absolute best things about my perspective is that I get to know who a person is on the inside because I can't see appearance. So think about how most people operate. And when I say this, I am not trying to offend anybody in any way. So when you walk into a room and you meet someone for the first time, you're probably judging them instantly just by looking at them. You know, you're checking out their hair, their clothes, and you're looking at their appearance, and you're looking to see if they look scary or mean. You're basically put them in a box before you even get to know them and hold a conversation. But for me, that doesn't happen. I don't see scary, and I don't care about what, your outfit looks like. When I meet you, it's a completely, it's completely different from when you meet a sighted person. Because I get to know your character and your personality because I'm not, looking at your appearance. I'm not basing it off of your look. I'm not judging who you are based on your appearance. I'm just holding a conversation and getting to know the real you, your heart, your personality. And I truly feel like I can tell exactly how someone is feeling just by the tone of their voice. And even like how they walk into a room and close the door. I could tell if my teacher was in a bad mood by the way she closed the door. It's one of those things that I just know. And it's also like I can tell by the way they talk. Because a person might be able to hide their emotions on their face or try to use facial expressions to mask what's going on. And this is just me, and I feel like I've been able to do it for so long, and I can't do it always. But it's so hard to hide the truth in your voice because a lot of the times the voice doesn't lie. I can tell if someone had a bad day just by, how they walk through the door, and I can hear it in their footsteps or whenever they're talking, or sometimes just by how they're breathing. Even if they're trying to act like everything is okay and not showing it on their face, I could just usually tell. I don't know, it's just a feeling that I get. It's one of those things I can't explain. But to me, seeing someone really, it's really about picking up on their energy, their personality, and just their heart. Their personality that they bring into the room. And I also, love that I can judge, how you can judge based on facial expressions. I judge based off of the voice. Now, I will admit, sometimes people say that somebody doesn't look scary, and I think that they're scary because of the way their voice sounds. I judge based off of how they sound. But I feel like I can connect because I feel like I can connect more deeply because I'm not distracted by what you're wearing or what you look like, because I'm 100% focused on the conversation. And there's also no visual noise getting in the way of the connection. You know, and it's just one of those things that, like, I feel like I'm a good listener because I'm not on my phone. I'm not, like, I just want to hear what you have to say. Because I'm not distracted on what's on the outside. I'm wanting to know your heart and who you are. And I want you to think about this for a second. The next time that you're talking to someone, try to really listen to their tone. Try, to hear the things that they aren't actually saying, with their eyes. Try to pick up on things with, how they talk, their tone, their personality. And you might find that you may learn so much more about a person when you stop looking at the surface and start listening and, getting to know them, who they actually are in a deeper way. Being blind isn't a sad story to me. It's just a different perspective of the world. In a lot of ways, I feel like I see the truth of a person better than people who are just using their eyes. And with all that being said, if you have any questions or feedback, please reach out. Because honestly, just listen when I say this. No question or idea is too small or too big for this show. I want to know what you are curious about, what you want to hear more of, and even what I can improve on. Because I want you to be part of this podcast and part of this conversation. Whatever you have, whatever question, whatever feedback, whatever idea, please leave it in the comments or send me an email. Don't hesitate or hold back, because I don't want you to feel like your question is unanswered. I want to get those answers to you. So please, don't hesitate to reach out, because I promise you, I am not going to be offended at all by what questions you ask. And if you're worried that it's on an episode you haven't listened to, just email me the question and I will tell you if I've talked about that or not. So, you can email me or you can leave them in the comments. My email is theworldasIseeitpodcast@gmail.com. I'm looking for the constructive criticism too. Tell me what you love and what I can do better. Nothing is off limits, and you're not going to offend me, like I said. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment down below so, we can chat there. And you can always send me an email. Thank you all so much for being here and listening to my story. I appreciate you taking the time to see the world through my eyes. Next week we'll have a brand new episode for episode 43, talking about AI and how it can make me more independent and how sometimes it can hallucinate. So stay tuned for that. Stay curious, keep listening, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye, guys.
You've been listening to the World as I See It podcast.